It is September 2025, and by now a decent amount of people are using AI chatbots like GPT-5, ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, Grok, etc. I'll try to keep this video relatively short because I'm not in the best environment right now. Okay. So let's start with the installation. To install, we just type cargo install for CLI. You'll need to install cargo, but you can install it with any system, in any system that you have, even Windows, Mac. Cargo install for CLI, done. After we install it, what we're going to do is we're going to start a project here in our desktop. We're going to call it book, the name of the project. Okay, make the directory book. We're going to open Visual Studio Code there. Okay, and now that we have done that, we're going to start a fur project here. A fur project may have a collection of different threads or conversations. So we're going to create our new thread. We're going to initialize our fur project by creating our first thread, which will be called brainstorming. Okay. Now, if you're creating the project for the first time in that folder, you're going to be prompt an onboarding process here, where you have to write your main avatar name. In this case, I'll just write my name. Secondary avatar, I'll write Gemini. It's the person or the agent that you're logging responses from. New thread created. For threads, if we each type for thread, we'll see all our threads. We can even create a new one called, writer's block. And then if we go back to for thread, we have it here. We jump to the new thread that we created. We want to go back to our other thread. We just type the first characters that are different to the others on the thread we want to travel to with respect to ID, right? So now we're back to the brainstorming thread. We can also check out our avatars, the ones we created during the onboarding process, by typing for avatar. We can create a new one, new avatars, by typing for avatar new. And secondary avatar, yes, otherwise we'll be creating the main avatar and referencing to that one. Yes, I'll choose name. I'll just choose GPT-5. Skip emoji, yes. It auto detects the keyword as related to an AI, so it chooses the bot emoji. For avatar, and now we created also GPT-5, and we can create multiple avatars that way. Okay. So now we're gonna start with Gemini. We're gonna ask Gemini brainstorm to help us brainstorm. Okay, Gemini brainstorming for, I guess I'll just write best-selling self-help book ideas. Okay. We are gonna, while it thinks and everything, we'll start by jotting the first prompt that we gave it. For jot brainstorming for best-selling self-help book ideas. And now we go for 3 to see the current state. We just have the first prompt, right? Followed by nothing. For status is also current message is the one that we just typed here with for jot. Now, if we want to log a long response like this one that is very structured in documentation and everything, what we do is we do not type for jot, we type for chat. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to copy the response from the chat from Gemini. We're going to type for chat, not for jot. Gemini, and then enter. And now we're going to paste the conversation, the response from the AI here with Ctrl-Shift-V, enter, then Ctrl-D for Mac, or Ctrl-Zeta for Windows, right? So Ctrl-D, you have finished writing to end the conversation. Okay, continue, yes, enter. Save as, gives you a default file name. Just go with it. I usually go with it unless you want to you have give it a personal chat Markdown name. Sure, go for it. But for the most part, just go with the default. Okay, so now we go for 3, and now we have the logged Markdown file, Markdown conversation from Gemini in here within a chats folder, and with this Markdown file name. If we want to look at it, it's also here and in chats, in the chat folder, and there's where we are basically logging everything. We can log several Markdown files from different responses from different AIs. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna output the full timeline here. So third timeline just gives you the timestamps and everything that we have so far. But if the message is really long and it's on a file, it doesn't do reference. So for that, we need per timeline the flag contents or verbose, which actually does give you the timeline with the referenced Markdown file content here. And of course, it's more practical if you actually output the full thing as a document, right? So third timeline contents and then out, and then we give it a name. The name we want to output this as. I guess I'll type it as brainstorming.md. And now we exported the full timeline with the referenced markdowns to brainstorming.md. We can look at it now. And now you can see that the timeline has been created as this document called brainstorming.md. We have the name of the avatars, the timestamps, the Gemini. We have a Gemini also, the long response. You can see that it's structured. It's very neatly also and output it in the document. And we can actually make it longer and extend this to throw out more conversations and more markdown. So that's what I'm going to show you next. We're going to copy paste this full thing and paste it in ChatGPT. Okay, and we're in ChatGPT. We're going to paste it. And I said, what do you think? That's it. Okay. And now we're going to continue with the thread. And we're going to say for jot. I'll just put action to remind me that it's not the prompt. Send GPT-5 the full thread timeline. Set what do you think? Okay. And now, of course, we're going to go and copy paste the response that we got from ChatGPT-5. And so we're going to also, I'm going to start closing this video right now because it's getting a little annoying. For chat GPT-5, okay, write to long conversations, Control-Shift-V, enter, Control-D or Control-Zeta for Windows, enter, finish writing, continue, enter, save as, enter, done. For 3, pick up the full thing. And now we can also output it again with third timeline, contents out, brainstorming. And now we have a longer conversation thread, right? We have continued this thing, basically. We started with Gemini, then moved on. Then there's here me logging the action, send GPT the full timeline, said what do you think, GPT-5 response. And this is the GPT-5 response. And we can continue on. And what's great about this is that it doesn't have to live. It no longer has to live in ChatGPT or Gemini. You know, this full log that is kind of like custom made by you can live in your computer, in your systems. You can create private Git repositories for it, right? And the only thing you need to manage really, if you want to do that is, let's say Git init. You just need to, you don't care about the brainstorming.md because you can generate it using fur. So we can actually remove it if we want, right? The only thing we need to version control is basically the metadata and the long chats, right? So for that, we would just need to add fur and chats. So we add the full thing, and you'll see that it's really a lot of these are metadata. Well, all of those are metadata except for the chats in the chats folder, right? And it's metadata that it actually does the management of like your threads, the timeline, the sequence, the timestamps, everything really here. And you know, the avatars, what responses are coming from what, right? So that's great. And like I said, you can like make private repos for this. You can even like just like keep this full metadata and chats in your USB, put it on a time capsule, take it later. And for that, I'd like to close this video because yeah, it's getting a little loud here. So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you really find it useful. I know I definitely do.